Joining us now is former Republican strategist Steve Schmidt, who I must tell you has been absolutely incandescent in his criticism of the president. Steve, thank you for making time to be here tonight. I feel like I really need to hear you on this. I have been wanting to hear where you are at on all of this stuff. So thanks for making time to be here.
Good evening. Good to be with you, Rachel.
General John Allen. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I think it's an astonishing scene of political cowardice today at the Senate Lynch. Each one of them coming by. I don't know. The former Secretary of Defense and a legendary retired Marine Corps four-star general said that the President of the United States is a threat to the American Constitution. And what prompted him to speak out? Well, what happened is that there was a group of Americans in front of the north lawn of the White House on the street, peacefully protesting, exercising their rights under the First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States to peacefully assemble, to petition their government, and to speak. And what was loosed against them was state-sanctioned violence. Those peaceful protesters were assaulted by law enforcement so Donald Trump could walk across the street and commit an act of sacrilege, holding a Bible upside down to look strong in front of the Church of Presidents because he felt humiliated from his cowardice and allowing himself to be evacuated from the Oval Office to the bunker, the Presidential Emergency Operations Center. So this is a low moment and a dangerous hour in this country. And per your previous segment, Rachel, we don't have secret police in the United States of America. These protests are about racial justice and about the fact that too many of us are not equally treated under the law. But now an essential part of this story is understanding who are these men. We don't have secret police. These men need badges. They need identification. The American people have a right to know who's funding them, their chain of command, and who they report to. This idea that the Attorney General of the United States has suddenly become an interior minister in a thugocracy with a private militia of some type that reports to him is antithetical to every precept of American democracy. And that's before we get to the threats of the president threatening the American people with the deployment of the most lethal combat force in world history to the streets of the nation that they swear to protect. Military in this country serves the nation, not a man.